Yegi here. Well, I hope you guys are having an amazing week. But besides that, I have a surprise. We have a bonus episode. So this week, this is going to be our second episode as a bonus episode. And we're following up with our coaching student, Nayelli, to see her progress in a week. Okay, so we want to make sure we hold her accountable to make sure she did all her homework assignments. Again, to hold her accountable so we can really help her see a result and grow in her business. And please note, in the episode you will hear that we are going to send her some resources and do some more background work before this coaching session. So that's pretty typical with our coaching students. That's how we work. So besides our, paid session that we sit down and have like an hour, we work throughout the process too. So if there's more resources we can send you have more questions, you still have access to that. So that's kind of what we did with her, gave her some more resources so she can fully be prepared to do her homework assignments and, take action until our next meeting, which was the week, and this is now. And again, and the last thing to keep in mind is, I don't think we mentioned in this episode, but we did also set up a 1 month, or maybe we did mention it, but we did also set up a 1 month follow-up after the 1 week follow-up, because that's what she needed in order to fully take action and follow the initial plan in order for us to move on and set higher goals or give her higher assignments that could help develop her personally and also her business. So I hope that's clear as you guys are listening to the episode. And please keep in mind, if you do want a coaching session or if you want to be part of this project and come on as a live session for all of our listeners to learn from a real life example, make sure to reach out and check our website or email us at info@theyegiproject.com. So I hope you guys enjoyed this real life session. Hey beauty lovers and fellow entrepreneurs, I'm Yegi, the owner and founder of Yegi Beauty. Within 5 years of being my own boss, I was able to grow Yegi Beauty into a multi-million-dollar company. This podcast is where I share what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur in the beauty industry. So we're following up today after your initial session to kind of get organized, to see where you're at with your calendar, how we can fit in the important things that you need to do in order to grow your business. So I did get the draft of your weekly plan. Now, how do you feel about the calendar? Do you feel like it's doable? It's something that you can keep up with, or do you have any questions or concerns about any of the areas?
No, I feel like it's doable and it's gonna be very helpful for me, because in some way I do feel like super overwhelmed with like all these ideas I have and all these things I want to do, and I'm always feeling more and more overwhelmed because I put all these things in my head that I want to do or things I want to get to, and I'm all over the place all the time. So I feel like
Yes.
with the schedule that you gave me, like the weekly schedule, I think it's gonna help me a lot. And I feel like I could do it, like just to get more organized in that way.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it definitely should help as long as, you keep up with it. And I would recommend at the end of the week, kind of touch base with yourself. So you want to review and be like, okay, so this is how my week went. These are the things I was able to accomplish. These are the things that didn't really work out. Now, what can I do to adjust or make next week better? So then if you see certain area is unrealistic, so it's not happening on any of the days, that means it's probably unrealistic. So you may want to make changes to it to make sure that it's realistic so you can actually accomplish it. So a good example would be, let's say you set aside 1 hour to do phone calls, but it's not really working. You barely have time to do 15 minutes. So then you'll just adjust your schedule to only fit in 15 minutes of phone time, okay? Because our goal is to make it reasonable and small enough for it to be achievable, so you can also use it as kind of motivation to keep going, okay? Because if you have a set plan, set calendar, but it's not working, it's not happening, you're not kind of crossing things off, then that's when it's gonna feel discouraging for you to keep going.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Let's review your calendar really quick. So today's already Wednesday, so technically you've had Monday, Tuesday, and then like now, today is your Wednesday. So how did Monday and Tuesday go based on your plan? Or were you just setting it and we're gonna start this next week?
No, that was actually for this week. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So were you able to keep up with the Monday and Tuesday according to what you planned on your calendar?
yeah, so far I feel like whatever I put on there, I tried my best not to put too much in there because I know myself how
Good.
I do that sometimes. But I think I was able to keep up with the schedule and stuff.
Perfect. That's what I love to hear. And I love that you're realistic. You broke everything down in detail, like even picking up your kids, eat lunch, wash clothes, all that bedtime. So that's all super important. So you could be realistic for yourself. And it looks great. So one thing that I do want to talk about is the office time. So on your office time, we were gonna talk about working on your business documents to get all the paperwork done. Were you able to call and see if you're allowed to run a business out of your home in your area?
Yeah, I called the business office in Lancaster. I don't know. I think that's what it's called. I called and they said that yeah, I just need to
Oh,
they gave me the
perfect.
website where I need to submit an application, and then
Okay.
they will send me like the details of what are the requirements or so, and they will send it out to the city to see if they approve it.
Okay, perfect. All right. So your next step on your next office time is to fill out those papers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I would put that as a to-do item is to do the paperwork for the business license. And then after that, another goal that we had for you was to do some sort of marketing or plan out your marketing of how you want to do it throughout the week. What was some of your ideas for that? On
Well,
your calendar, did you schedule out any time for like specific tasks or
yeah,
not?
I put Saturday, this Saturday, I'm gonna go pass out my business cards. I just didn't send you the picture of the back of the page where I put that.
Oh, it's okay.
But
It's
yeah,
okay. Yeah, it's more for you.
usually Saturdays and Sundays I try to just keep it as like family time. But I was thinking for this, I think Saturday will be a good day for me to just go out there and just pass out my business cards. And that'll be my only
Okay,
focus that day. And then obviously after that, like my family time.
of course. Okay, that sounds good. Yes, the key thing again is to put in a specific date, time, and what you're gonna do, and then you're done.
Yeah.
And then after that, I see you did schedule out some social media time. Were you able to get yesterday's done? It says 2 to 5 p.m. post on IG.
Yes.
You focused on it? Okay. All right, great. And now we have the coaching session. And how about for your lash clients? Were you able to redo your schedule online where now you have the different slots available for clients versus office time?
Yeah, I worked on that on Monday, I believe. Um, I went ahead and fixed all that in my booking side. So I blocked all the times that it allows me, I guess, to block times. So kind
Yes.
of whatever is available. It's only like I left a morning appointment or afternoon appointment, which is usually like
Okay.
from 11 to 2, and then like from 5 to 8.
Okay, perfect. All right, so that looks good. So now the next step is to kind of so you have to so it's going to be an ongoing task. So the working on the social media, doing those marketing tasks like passing out your business cards, trying to do the booth, trying to go to maybe beauty conventions, like all that stuff. There's a bunch of different things that you could do for the marketing and you'll fit those in specifically per week. Okay, so then
Mhm.
on Mondays, and that's kind of looks like what you planned to do too, is like set up my schedule for the week. So I think that's a great way to do it. On Mondays, you can sit down and figure out, okay, this week, what are the specific marketing tasks or what are the specific social media posts I want to focus on. But have a running list of all the ideas for the marketing. So then when that week comes, you can just kind of filter those in. You can just pop those into those open slots instead of having to worry about, oh, which one should I do this week, because it will get more challenging as you continuously work on it. 'Cause then you start kind of running out of ideas. So I would kind of have a running list, maybe like a note in your phone or in your journal. Start writing ideas as they come, and that's going to kind of help you stay organized on paper without having that clutter in your mind. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
kind of what I do. I just write it down and I have it there, kind of like a bank for me, and then when I need it for that week, I'll go look at that list and I'll grab one or two things out of there to really plan for and schedule for this week to make sure I execute it.
Mm. Yeah, sounds
Okay.
right. Because I do have like a whole bunch of ideas in my mind, and then I just get all over the place sometimes. And when I'm really trying to do something, like it won't, it won't come out. Like
You get
I won't
frustrated.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So try that best practice. Have a running list of your ideas. Just keep adding to it. And it doesn't have to be perfect and detailed or anything. It's just quickly your idea list, basically.
Mm.
And then when you have your time on your schedule, let's say on Monday you're sitting and you're figuring out, okay, which ones am I gonna do this week? You can go back to your list and then pick one or pick two to focus on that week. So then, like that, okay, this week, all I have to do is worry about this one task or this one idea to see how I can make it come true.
Okay. That sounds
Okay.
good. Yes.
So for this week, it looks like, yours was passing out the business cards and you already did it. You already scheduled them for Saturday and it's easy. You just get your cards, go out and do that, right?
Yeah.
Then for next week, you would need to come up with something else or two things and literally come up with the details. So is there any ideas that come into your head that you can do and focus on next so I can kind of help you break it down?
Well, I also have I have created I already created them. I just need to print them out. Some like coupons kind of
Mhm.
for like,
Flyers,
yeah,
coupons.
like for money off the service or stuff like that. I created them already. I just need to print them out, and I did wanted to pass those out as well.
Okay, so then next week's goal could be like on your office hour is finalize flyer, send it online for print. So then you can have it. And then once you have it, because even if your goal is to pass those out, again, it goes step by step. It's not like, okay, pass those out. But, in order to pass it out, first you need to design it. Second, you need to get the physical printed in your hand. Third, you pass it out. So make sure you break it down into steps within your week to make sure it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what
Okay.
I'm gonna focus on next week. I have it ready already. I just need to send it out to print out, and then maybe next Saturday I can go and pass those out.
Okay. Perfect. So then that would be the game plan for that. And then you just have to keep going with your weekly like to-dos and tasks in order for you to grow your business. Like literally, it's that simple at this point. Once you have a game plan, we have the goal of how many clients you want a week. So now it's basically let's go out and get it. Let's go out and do it, right?
Yeah.
And then they're just gonna start building. So I think you have a very good foundation, good sets to keep that going. Now we need to on the next thing that we can so this will be ongoing your calendar. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next thing I want you to kind of focus on is always like personal development, because anytime we focus on developing ourselves, that's when we could really grow our business. So let's talk about some areas where you think you can use more help in developing. An example could be customer service. It could be like a certain lashing technique if it's your physical like way you do lashes. It can be I don't know, maybe you're shy to talk to people. So anything that you feel like is a weakness or kind of not your best suit that you think it may get in your way of growing your business would be something that you can choose to focus on initially to grow in.
Right now, in general, what I feel like I need to work on the most is because I'm not really a shy person, but when it comes to the camera or social media, like I kind of hold back a lot lately. And that's one of the things that lately has been in my mind. Like, you need to get more out there, because I stay posting. I try to, stay on there, but I recently started kind of like showing my face more on there, like with a picture or stuff like that. But I do want to get more. I think that's one of the main things I want to focus on right now, is like try to get more out there, like talk on there, or
Okay.
create little videos or reels and stuff like that.
Okay. So then that could be our goal. So for the next time we talk, that could be our goal for us to touch base on. So you decided, it's very simple. You know that's what you want. That's your next goal. You want to work on yourself. You want to feel more confident to kind of put it all out there without caring with what people think, what people are going to say, and how they react. So our goal is first to recognize that, to be like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. This is my plan. Even if I don't feel comfortable, even if I don't feel 100% camera ready and beautiful that day, I don't care. I'm going to do it and I'm going to put it out there, right? So initially that's easier said than done, but really like it comes down to habit, honestly. I when I was personally like handling my social media, I was active all the time. And it would just became more of a habit because I was like, okay, after I do this, I just get on there, just say hi to everybody. And then next step is I'll post something, like I'll just be active. And it became a habit. I didn't have to think about it. Initially, it takes a lot of work and courage to think about it and kind of be on yourself to do it. And then it becomes a habit, then it becomes super easy. Okay. But again, see someone like me, that's what it happened. It became a habit. And then within years into the business, I got really busy doing kind of more important tasks, in my opinion, and I was paying people to help me with the social media. So then now my habit of posting is actually pretty bad, like personally, for me to do it for myself. And that's actually something I kind of want to focus on to try to be a little bit more personally present now that I have a little bit more of time for that.
Hmm.
But again, it's tough in the beginning, even if you've done it before or if you're comfortable with the camera. So it's really not even how comfortable you are with the camera. It's just making a habit and kind of admitting to yourself that it's really not a big deal to be out there. Not many people care. Like today, look, I have no like makeup. I just have my lashes. But do you really care that I look like this, that I'm talking to you?
No, but you still look
No,
pretty
right?
though. You still look
Thank you. Yeah,
beautiful.
see, exactly. Exactly. See, that's your opinion. But initially, in the past, for me, that would bother me. I would probably like it's horrible, but I would probably, if I didn't have time to put my face together or do my hair, I would probably like, hey Nayeli, can we reschedule? Like I'm running behind or something, right? I would use
Yeah.
it as an excuse to hold me back. And see, we're laughing about it now because it is silly if we think about it, but in reality, most people don't really care. Yes, there is people out there that are very mean and they may leave mean comments, but those are the people we want to delete, we want to block. We don't want those people associated with us or our social medias. So first, I think is just accepting the fact that you don't care what people really like are going to think and say. And second, you could just make it a habit and do it for yourself, and then see how it goes, right? So don't get discouraged even if one person only looks at it or only one person likes it. It takes time for it to kind of get around. So
Yeah.
I think in order for you to accomplish that and kind of get more comfortable with doing it and getting in the habit of it, I would schedule it specifically into your calendar. So I think that's how we can tackle this goal for you, is that you are required, and Yegi's going to be checking,
Yeah.
you're required to kind of like do your little any type of clip that kind of shows your face once a week, or whatever you think is realistic. So we can start off with once a week. I think that's realistic.
Yeah.
And then you can build it up from there as you build a habit of it. On Tuesdays, that's when you have post on IG from 2 to 5. That's when you're just kind of like working on stuff. So that's good. You have 3 hours there. So maybe on Tuesdays, you can schedule and be very specific, record or post a video with my face in it,
Yeah.
or do like a fun reel with my face in it.
Yeah.
So
On
that one,
Tuesdays, well, yeah, on Tuesday I left it like open in case I got like for lashing, And then if obviously if I have a lash appointment, to focus on posting. That's kind of how I looked at it.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. That's being productive. If you have nothing else, you can kind of be on. If you don't have clients, your second priority is to be active on social
Hmm.
media. I think that's good. So then maybe you could fit it in on, let's say, Thursdays. It looks like from 9 to 11 a.m. You blocked it off for office, right? You're
Yeah.
not taking clients from 9 to 11. So maybe see, it says create 5 reels for next week. So then within those 5 reels, your goal is to have one of them be something with your
My face.
face on it, okay?
Yeah.
Just one. Don't be don't be too crazy to plan this, because then it's not going to happen. So let's just do one a week for now, and once you're accomplishing that, then you can go up to 2 a week, 3 a week. Then it's going to start being a habit, and then you can maybe do one a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah.
So then update that goal to one face or personal reel. Okay. So then
Once
that's
a
the
week.
first one you do. That's the first one you get out of the way as part of your goal. You can check it off. You're happy.
Yeah, and you think that's a good idea? Because I've heard this before. Like I don't know exactly where, but they did said that it's a good idea to like get one day to kind of focus on creating like content like for your whole next week, like that you have it ready in advance. Or you think that's double too
Yes.
much?
Honestly, there's two ways of doing it, and you can kind of see which one works better for you. A lot of people like to do the batch content because you have that day, you have that time, you can sit down and focus and be done. But sometimes we don't feel creative like to do all of it in that one day. So I would probably do like have like a I personally would prefer to split it into two separate sessions and have a shorter session. So 3 hours of creating content, like for a lot of people, is just draining because it just takes too much creative power. So I would split it maybe like 1 or 2 hours at a time, and maybe split it in 2 times a week.
No.
So then it also doesn't feel like too much work or too much draining. You want it to still have fun with it. You don't want to feel like anytime you're setting these, you're gonna resent it, because if that happens, more than likely it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
gonna stop doing it if you don't have fun with it.
I scheduled that on Thursday from 9 to 11. But yeah, I noticed that when I create even
That's good.
one reel, it takes me forever sometimes. But
You'll get faster at it. Honestly,
yeah.
you'll get faster at it. So for now, I would say, look, you put 5 reels. So instead, why don't we be more realistic? So you only have 2 hours, and in the beginning, it does take longer. Sometimes there could be super quick ones, but sometimes it does take longer when you're kind of new at it. So why don't you set your goal to 3 reels? It's better to have a more realistic goal, and
Yeah.
then one of them could be something with your face on it. Okay, so I think that's more realistic, and then we can work our way up from there. So try this for this week, and
Mhm.
then we can see where you have more time, where you have more room, then we can fit in more. Okay,
Okay.
for example, on your Tuesdays, if you don't have a client between 2 to 5, that's when you can create 2 more. So that could be kind of the goal on there. You put post on IG, but again, that's time you have, and that would be your backup time. So I think that's a good plan.
Okay.
Okay, so for now on Thursdays it'll be five. It'll be 3 reels, and one of them, your top one to first cross off, is one of you in it. Some easy content too is one thing actually I want to start doing too, is asking your clients to send you selfies. Okay, so
Mhm.
that's something easy to kind of forget. But if again, you can try to remember as much as you can. Message your clients like, hey, when you feel like it, send me a client selfie. I would love to post it and tag you in it. So I think that does really good too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's one thing I was doing a lot in the beginning, kind of reminding my clients or letting them know like, hey, tag me, take a selfie. But I don't think I've done that lately. So yeah, I need to get back at that.
Yeah, so that could be, so be very specific, So even if we wrote 3 reels, you can break that down, or like 2 posts, you can break that down. One client selfie, one eyelash mapping photo, for example. So
Mhm.
you want to break it down as much as you can to be very specific, again, to make sure that it happens.
Mm, okay. Be Yeah, because sometimes I go on there and like I just post like whatever comes to my mind at the moment. But I think if I am more specific,
And
it'll be easier on
And
me.
honestly, that's okay too. That is totally okay. So that's one thing I've reminded myself recently too. We want to have fun with it. We don't want it to feel like so much work, again, because then it's not going to happen. Now,
Mhm.
it's different if your job was to be a content creator or a social media manager, then you would be very specific, very on top of it. Like, it's different, but your job is to be a lash artist and a business owner and grow your business, not be a content creator or a social media manager. Okay.
Yeah.
So don't be too hard on yourself on that end either. Do your best. And if you see like the scheduling, the planning is not working for you, then just do it more organically. Do it like on the daily, like as you get inspired, as you have ideas, go ahead and post it. It doesn't have to be scheduled, it doesn't have to be very detailed, very specific. Okay. So that's a different approach you can take. And you have to see which approach is better for you.
But yeah, I think scheduling it too will help me because I'm telling you, sometimes I've noticed that I could be the whole day and my whole day, I don't get to do the other things I have to do because I'm just constantly on there. Like something comes to my head and I'm like, oh, let me post
Hmm.
this. And then I try to get back to
Then
my
you're
chores
wasting time.
or whatever. Yeah. I try to get back to
Okay.
my
So
chores and then I don't end up finishing.
So what I would do too, a good practice with social media too, because it can be very consuming, is
Mm-hmm.
put on a timer. So look, on Thursdays you only have from 9 to 11, right? But from 11 to 2 you have deep cleaning. So if you don't put a timer and you keep going, you get stuck watching things, you then feel like, oh, you're looking at your competitors, you're getting ideas, but you're also like all over the place. It's going to mess up the rest of your day and your schedule. So
Yeah.
put on a timer. So
True.
put on your 2 hour timer or an alarm clock at 11, that no matter what, once that timer goes on, you're getting off social media. You're done. Yeah, like you're done for that day or that week or however you plans to do. So that's where it comes to kind of like discipline as well. That's really going to help you.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I really need that. I need to be more disciplined with myself.
Yeah, and like I said, we're all a working progress. A lot of times it's easier said than done. And I've go on and off being like super good, super disciplined. And sometimes like life throws me off, then I'm not super great either. So we're human. Know that, understand that. Don't be so hard on yourself, but just consciously work on yourself as much as you can. Okay. By being hard on yourself, it's not going to help anybody, and definitely not yourself. So instead, give yourself praises. Say, oh, Nayelli, you're doing so good. Look, you got on a coaching session. You have a whole week's plan. Like, I'm awesome. Woohoo. Like I'm moving forward. So give yourself more positive talk. Be proud of yourself. Even little things that you're doing, it's a huge thing in the long run. You may not see results right away, but in the long run it's going to produce results. Okay. And a lot of times, honestly, when I started my business too, I would do a lot of free services too, or like a lot of, even like this coaching, right? I'm doing it as a free service to
Mm-hmm.
you, but I know the value of it in the long run. Like,
Mm-hmm.
worst case, I'm helping another girl or woman that's gonna literally set up her life and is gonna be forever grateful for me, right?
Yeah.
So even that, like, initially certain things we do, we may not see that payoff, like monetary payoff, right from the beginning, but in the long run it's adding up, and it's definitely gonna come back around, and it's gonna show itself. So that's my thing too. Like, don't stress too much in the beginning about seeing results so quickly. Just do one thing at a time. Let's move forward, progress, and the rest will follow.
No, yeah, I agree. Um, and thank you again once again for your
Ah,
coaching.
you're welcome.
You're very helpful.
Oh, my pleasure. Honestly, it's fun for me. I love it. And a lot of times when I'm coaching somebody else too, certain things are kind of a reminder for me too, because it's been, I'm at a whole different place compared to where somebody else might be. So it's kind of fun to be like, oh, I came a long way too myself.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
fun. So thank you. Actually, it's your time too. So thank you for doing this with me.
No, yeah.
You're a good student. You did what you were supposed to do, so I love it.
No, yeah. Thank you. I'm trying my best, like to just do everything by the book. Like I told you, last year was, and I've tried to set it like every year to focus on one thing. Like when I started, my first thing was like, okay, I wanted to get certified first. And then I was like, okay, now I'm done. I'm gonna run school. Once I'm done with school, my next goal is get my license, my station license, which that was last year. And then I put it to my head since last year, like next year, my focus is getting everything done, like my licenses, my business name,
I
everything.
love that.
So this year,
I
that's
love
my
that.
focus.
I love that. Awesome. Okay. Um, all right, so then so some of your to-do items for the office stuff is that. So finish the paperwork for the business license, call Board of Cosmetology, have them send you the link to fill out the barbering and cosmetology salon license. And then you want to figure out how you want to form your business. So if you want it to be like a DBA, LLC, and if you want to do that paperwork, okay? So again, like I said, your cheapest option is probably using somebody like LegalZoom, to do it online. It's probably the cheapest for them to file the paperwork, but
Mm-hmm.
the most like detailed way is to get a business attorney to help you file like all those to make sure you're good. So maybe you can even try to find the business attorney and just consult with them. A lot of them do free consultations and
Mm-hmm.
then go from there.
Okay.
But I personally had done my initial paperwork through LegalZoom because I was trying to save as much money and it ended up working out for me. I just had to make sure I like kind of stay on top of everything and follow up. But like I said, those are kind of like two different approaches you can take.
With this, I'm trying to like not overwhelm myself. So I think just with the things that you're helping me with right now, with like my scheduling and getting more organized with that, and with like the paperwork side of my business, I think right now that's where I'm gonna keep it at.
Okay.
And I think you've like helped me with that, like all the questions I have.
Yes, I think that's a great plan. Honestly, I think you're at a good start. This is a great plan. So you have a month to stay on top of your calendar, take notes, and you can still reach out and email us and ask questions. So if you get stuck in any area, we're still a resource. So you still can ask. You're like, oh, I did this, but I'm kind of confused on this part. Can you help? So you can still ask questions like that.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
So
I
then
appreciate that.
of course. So then in a month we'll have our actual like full on talking session again and see where what our next steps would be, okay? But our goal is to get closer to the number of clients you have daily, but again, doing these little tasks every day, every week is going to help get you there.
Okay, Jiggy. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. Great job. I'm super proud of you. Stay on top of your to-do list. If you get discouraged or fall behind, if you need a pep talk, let me know. I'll be here for you. But if not, in 4 weeks again on Wednesday, 11 a.m., we'll touch base again, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Good luck with
Okay.
everything. Talk to you later.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye. You too. Bye. Thank you for listening. Please rate and review this podcast. Follow and engage with us on social media under the Yegi Project. And if you're interested in being a guest, email info@theyegiproject.com. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes.